afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today for Monday, December 23rd. It's Alyssa Coram here, and I'm joined by my colleague Justin Nielsen for a breakdown of today's action in this shortened holiday week. And the Nasdaq kicked things off to take the lead here, Justin.
Yeah, so I mean, really, what we're what we're mostly looking for is just a little bit more recovery from Wednesday of last week's, devastating move after the Fed announcement. So, that's pretty much what we're going to be looking for this week, and we're continuing to get a little bit of a Christmas present with a little bit more of recovery today. We'll also cover some of the stocks that we're looking interesting, including Taiwan Semiconductor, uh, also United Airlines and Twilio.
Yes, we will. And since it's a special holiday week, we have the podcast, our weekly podcast shortly after this, Justin. And I know you and Arusha will get into the weeds with the market action. So we'll give a light view of the market. So that way people will go watch the podcast for more information. How about that?
That sounds good. We'll set it up and
All
then knock them
right.
down.
Perfect. Okay, so kicking things off, here's a look at the Nasdaq up 1% today. The S&P 500 was up about 0.7% on the day. And then let's take a quick look at the Dow here, up a little bit on the day, but still, like you said, recovery mode, right? A lot of damage last week, so at least we aren't breaking further there. And small caps inside day, mild decline. But as we mentioned, the NASDAQ took the lead today. So an encouraging step in the right direction. But again, when you get that bad break, is it going to take a little bit of time to repair and recover?
Yeah, and on Friday, Webby and I went over a lot of different examples of cases where very few cases where it comes right back, a lot of cases where it kind of goes sideways for a little while and then recovers, and then a few cases too where it just gets worse, a lot worse before it gets better. So yeah, you do have to have all of those scenarios in mind.
Mhm.
But right now, the Nasdaq is still where the leadership is. In fact, if we just take a little bit more of a slice, if you look at FNGS, that's the
Yeah.
FANG Plus, the New York Stock Exchange FANG Plus index. I mean, this is looking very strong, very similar to the Nasdaq. The fact that both FNGS and the Nasdaq are kind of getting over their Friday highs
Right.
puts them in a much stronger position as opposed to the S&P 500, which was look very solid. And I like that it's getting back above the 50-day moving average line, but wasn't quite able to get above Friday's highs. And RSP, which is the equal weighted S&P 500, that still has a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So, and just keep this in mind that not all stocks are created equal. So if you're
Right.
in a portfolio that's kind of diversified, you might not be having a good time right now.
Yeah, exactly. So see where those leaders are, look at the relative strength lines while you're screening, maybe the RS line blue dot list, see what's popping up there. Stocks that are near their 50-day line that have held above that level. So all things that we're looking for as we remain, a little cautious here
Yeah.
as the holiday week progresses. But I know you and Arusha have a lot more, so I will leave the rest of the market chat to you guys over at the podcast. If you haven't tuned into our live podcast before, it's usually on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, but it's going to be today because, of course, we've got Christmas on Wednesday. Markets closed, so we're doing it a little early this week. So that'll be a lot of fun with you too. Really looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
And look, it's not like we're going to have a lack of content this week. Not only do we have our stock market today videos going on every
And
day except for
tomorrow,
Christmas, but we also have the swing trader status update that we're going to be doing a Christmas special.
right?
So as a reminder for folks, hey, Christmas Eve is tomorrow. In case you didn't have it on your calendar, the market does close early, so a lot of our programming will be a little bit earlier tomorrow as well.
Great reminder for the audience there. I'm glad you threw that in. Thank you, Justin. All right. Well, one standout in today's session was chip name Taiwan Semiconductor breaking out of a cup with handle base here, up 5.3% on the day. So looking good here, Justin. A nice day of outperformance.
Yeah, and let's just real quickly take a look at SMH, which is the VanEck Semiconductor Index. And look, I mean, this doesn't look bad, but uh, Taiwan Semi just looks stronger, right? So this has gotten some support. SMH has gotten some support at the 200-day moving average line, and
Mhm.
today it got back above the 50-day moving average line. But TSM, I mean, that's just a breakout. That's getting clearing areas of resistance at 205.63. It
Mhm.
got support at its 50-day moving average line, so just in a much better position of strength, even more so than Nvidia that we are paying a lot of attention to. That came right up to its 50-day moving average line, on the verge of crossing that. So that looks pretty good. We did put this on Swing Trader, and I do have a position in both TSM and Nvidia. But yeah, we put both on Swing Trader today because look, they're both looking pretty good. Nvidia's a little bit of a shakeout +3. Taiwan Semiconductor a little bit more your classic breakout. Still worth watching some of the other leaders in this group, and I have to put ALAB and Broadcom in that list as well. Both of those a lot stronger, and I do have a position in ALAB.
So not all chip stocks created equal. Like you said earlier, not all stocks are created
Right.
equal. And so, looking even a little closer at the chip sector, there are definitely some standout winners within that. And since we are focusing in on TSM today, one other little nugget I want to point out is it does look, Justin, like this is the highest close within that base. So maybe not at new highs yet, but definitely looks like the highest close here. That relative strength line definitely headed in the right direction. And I could definitely see that if it keeps it up this week, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a blue dot on the RS line. So,
Right. Yeah. So relative strength is stronger here, and again, that's what we do a lot of times, right? We're looking at where that strength is because if you're gonna be invested in something, if you're gonna be putting your hard-earned money to work somewhere, it should be in the areas that are already strong because those are the ones that tend to get stronger. So that's our tendency. And look, you had a little bit of a turn here on the earnings line. You can kind
yeah.
of see how it was dipping a little bit, but that has turned nicely over the last few quarters. So we can see if some of that acceleration continues. This is one of the great things about having the fundamentals and the technicals
Yeah.
all in one place for you on Market Surge, that you can kind of see that, oh, look, how are these estimates, shaping up for both the annual and the quarterly? How have they been? Is this a little
Mhm.
bit more of a turnaround situation, or is this something that's had consistent growth, like some of our long-term leader quality stocks? So a lot to like about TSM. The group semiconductor manufacturing is a little bit low, but TSM is a standout.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a quick look at United Airlines. Look at this weekly chart, Justin. Pretty rare, I think, for a stock. How many weeks up in a row? This is probably easier. One down week since early August. Can you believe that? That's pretty impressive. Pretty
Yeah, you
incredible.
United just came out like I mean, skyrocketed. I mean, this was more of a rocket ship than a airplane.
Yeah.
But what you do a lot of times is when you see leadership like this, when you see such power, you try and find a way to get into it. And I do have a position in this that I just bought today. We added this on Swing Trader, and this is kind of an opportunity to maybe get in there. What I liked about that weekly chart was after all of that strength, you finally had, it gave up a little bit, but man, it did not want to give up much. So it did come down to the 10-week moving average line, got a bounce from there. It's almost like a little bit of a high tight flag. Look to this, maybe not quite um, the the velocity that you normally get, but very tight action after such a big move. I mean, this was up over 100% from 50 to 100, and it just didn't give anything away. So that's something that's really showing a lot of power. Again, the earnings in this case aren't necessarily spectacular, but something is obviously going on with the stock.
Mhm.
And look, we've been talking for a while about travel being one of those areas that looks interesting. We were also considering for Swing Trader Jets, JETS, which is a ETF that covers the airlines.
Yeah.
And the truth is, ALK and UAL again are the leaders here, whereas one of the larger components, DAL, looks a lot less compelling. You know, it's okay. It's getting support at the 50, but the strength is
Not as
really
strong.
elsewhere.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
again, one more example of how you've got a lot of choices here, and
Mhm.
why not go with the strength?
Exactly. So getting it back above the 21-day line after a little shakeout there, getting close to that round number of 100. So we'll keep tabs on that one. And then last but not least, let's check out Twilio, also a powerful mover, especially since that earnings breakaway gap there out of a base also found support at its 21-day line last week and bouncing from that level today.
Yeah, and computer software enterprise, this has been an area where we've seen a lot of strength. So there have been a lot of stocks to choose from. Whether you're looking at our Market Surge Growth 250 or our IBD Live watch list, this has been a standout area with a lot of stocks, looking strong in the group. So Twilio, and let's just kind of take a step back and go to the monthly chart here, because Twilio had this phenomenal run after its IPO from 2018 to 2019 and into 2020. It was just one of the rock stars, and like a lot of the growth names, got so hit hard in the 2021. It was the 2022 bear market, but for a lot of growth stocks, it started in
Yeah,
2021, in
exactly.
February of 2021.
Mhm.
Just ask the ARK investing,
Right.
ETFs. But this is really, a lot of these stocks have been showing a comeback. And so
Mhm.
Twilio, after kind of languishing at the bottom for a while, is really starting to show some strength. And now, if we go to the weekly chart,
Mhm.
you can kind of see, very similar to what we saw with United Airlines, a lot of power here off of this bottom, and just not giving up very much here. So another opportunity here to possibly get into Twilio. You've got, it didn't come down to the 10-week moving average
Mhm.
line, but now let's go to the daily, and you can see how it did get support right around that 21-day moving average line,
Right.
and really bounced strongly from there. So, it didn't come down as much, to a level of support that we would like to see at the 50-day, but the 21-day, a lot of the strongest stocks, that's kind of where you're getting a second chance at them. So this is one that I didn't buy today, but was looking very strong, and maybe getting an ad soon for me, and maybe Swing Trader as well.
Okay, we'll keep it on the watch list. Well, Justin, thank you so much. And I know you've got a podcast to do, so we'll go on and let you do that. Hope you all catch it live coming up here shortly on our YouTube channel, live at 5 p.m. Eastern, I believe.
Mhm.
Right? Yep.
Live
And
at 5.
live at 5. All right. So everyone will see you there, Justin, and I will be back on Friday. So I hope everyone has a great holiday week. I will miss you all and see you on Friday. But thanks, Justin, and have a good show. I know it's going to be an awesome podcast with Arusha. Looking forward to it.
Always great with Arusha.
Yeah. Okay. See you then, Justin. And thanks everyone for tuning in. That is it from us for today. But the team will be back tomorrow morning with IBD Live, investors.com/IBD Live for all the details on our daily morning live stream starting 10 minutes before the opening bell and then running through the first 90 plus minutes of trade. You don't want to miss it. So check that out tomorrow. So we'll see you then, everyone. And then the team has you covered tomorrow. As Justin mentioned, early market close. So early stock market today show at that early closing bell time of 1 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you then, everyone, and I'll see you on Friday. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everyone. Bye now.